Welcome to the Evo India YouTube channel, and it's time for the news of the week. A lot has happened over the last week, so let's get straight into it. Kicking things off is the Mahindra Futurescape event that happened in Cape Town, South Africa, where a lot of announcements were made. So let's start with the first one, which is a new subsidiary that Mahindra has. It's called Mahindra Electric Automobiles Limited. This will be taking care of all of their born electric vehicles, and they also have a new logo, which you can see on your screen right now. The next big announcement, which is probably the most exciting one over there, was the showcase of the Thar.e concept. Now, this is far from production, but it does give us an insight on what Mahindra Thars and the Thar's general design language could be going forward. And refreshingly, this bears no resemblance to the traditional Jeep design that you see on the existing Thar. Now, again, like I said, it is a concept and far from production, but it does give us a bit of insight as to what is what. Now, the main focus with the design of this Thar.e is modularity and practicality. So small details like the front headlamps and the rear tail lamps, they are basically the same modules which have been tweaked for a different purpose. And the same applies to the front bumpers, the rear, the fender flares, the side sills and steps, all of which are interchangeable from front to back and side to side. There are also small clever details like integrated slots which allow you to easily remove the roof racks, stuff like that. So it's really interesting things going on over here. Now, Mahindra claims that the interiors will be made up of as much as 50% of recycled PET plastic and all different recycled components. This is to further the green credentials of this car. Now, underpinning the Mahindra Vision Thar.e is the new InGlow platform, the modular electric platform that was unveiled last year. For the Thar.e, this platform will be raised significantly and will feature a new high-performance all-wheel drive electric powertrain, details of which haven't been given just yet. Now, this InGlow platform is also capable of accommodating batteries with capacities ranging from 60 to 80 kilowatt hour and will also have support for 175 kilowatt fast charging. The next concept that was showcased at this event was the Global Pik Up Concept. Now, this is based on the Scorpio-N, and it is essentially a pickup truck version of the Scorpio-N. It has elements like the off-road bumper, which is designed with a built-in winch, and it also has a nice smart-looking snorkel. Underpinning this new Global Pickup is a new generation ladder-on frame platform, and it will also feature Mahindra's intelligent 4Explore four-wheel drive system. Now, Mahindra has targeted 5-star safety rating with this production version, and to achieve the set target, the pickup will come equipped with level 2 ADAS, trailer sway mitigation, all-around airbag protection and drowsy driver protection at launch. Now, the Global Pickup will be launched in phases, starting with the existing markets, that is Africa, Australia, New Zealand, Middle East and Central Southeast Asia, and the Asian countries will get this in due time. Should this come to India, do let us know in the comment section down below. Now, if you want a detailed walk around of this Thar.e concept or even this Global Pickup concept, do check out our YouTube channel. We have videos for both. Now, 15th August was an exciting day not just for Mahindra but for Ola as well. They showcased 4 new electric motorcycle concepts, one of which we could see as early as 2024. Now, the platform between these 4 motorcycles is going to be the same, and the battery is going to be a stressed member of the chassis with everything else bolted onto it. There are 4 concepts, like I said. One is a super sport called the Ola Diamond Head. The second is a muscular cruiser concept, and it is called the Ola Cruiser. The third is an Ola Adventure, so it's got proper adventure bike styling and chassis setup. And the fourth is an Ola Roadster, which is a naked bike of sorts. Now, we don't have any specifications to give you at this point because they haven't been revealed to us just yet, but Ola does claim that when these do hit the streets, they will be the most powerful electric bikes in India. Now, if you look at the design of these bikes, the Ola Diamond Head, it is a super sport bike, but it doesn't get a full fairing like you would expect on a super sport bike. A lot of the styling is inspired by the Tesla Cybertruck. Now, if you look at each motorcycle, let's start with the Diamond Head. Now, that is going to be the super sport offering of the 4. It doesn't get a full fairing like other super sport bikes, but it does have a really interesting look, one that's been inspired heavily by the Tesla Cybertruck. Now, a few exciting elements on this bike is the front suspension. It's essentially a swing arm with a hub center steering similar to what you see with Bimotor in their bikes. Apart from that, you get 2 disc brakes at the front and a disc brake at the rear. And of the 4 bikes, this is the only one that gets a belt drive system instead of a chain drive system. That's pretty much all the specs I can give you on this bike because that's all we could see. Number 2 is the Ola Cruiser. Now this looks like a proper cruiser, so you can expect those sort of ergonomics. So a nice stretched out handlebar, stretched out foot peg, so a very laid back riding style. You will get upside down forks and a monoshock at the rear, and braking, because again this will not have a transmission like a multi-speed transmission, so both brakes are at the levers itself. You don't have anything on the foot pegs. Next up is the Ola Adventure. You get a really angular sharp front end, you get a nice LED DRL also, and because this is an ADV you do get longer travel suspension, a 19-inch front wheel, and the seat is also fairly flat, so it should get enough space for luggage and storage options. Like the Cruiser, this is also chain driven. And next up is the Ola Roadster, and our guess is that this is the first one that we will see in production because off the lot this looks the most nearest to production. Again, it has sharp styling, upside down forks, bi-brake calipers with a 2-disc setup at the front, a single disc at the rear, and the wheel sizes oddly are an 18-inch front and a 17-inch rear, pretty unlike roadster bikes. And the rubber that you get on these bikes are Michelin Road 6. Now whether or not those specific tires will make it to production remains to be seen. Now at this event they didn't just showcase concepts, they also did showcase some new offerings for their scooter lineup, mainly the S1X. Now the S1X is supposed to be the most affordable Ola, and it is supposed to be in their terms the ice killer. What you get with the S1X is 3 variants, one with 2 kWh battery, that's called the S1X. You have one with a 3 kWh battery, which is also called the S1X, and then you have the S1X Plus, which gets a 3 kWh battery, but it does get a few extra features on top. Prices start at 80,000 for the base S1X, which gets 2 kWh battery. You have a certified range of 91 kilometers, a top speed of 85 kilometers per hour, and the 0 to 40 sprint will be done in 4.1 seconds. Now with the S1X with the 3 kWh battery, the introductory price is rupees 90,000, but the actual price will be 1 lakh once the introductory price is over. You have a certified range of 151 kilometers, so an extra 60 kilometers over the 2 kWh battery variant. The top speed is also bumped up to 90 kilometers per hour, and the 0 to 40 km per hour sprint is completed in 3.3 seconds. Apart from the S1X, Ola has also showcased the S1 Pro 2nd generation. Now this does get some functional upgrades over the outgoing model, starting with a more traditional telescopic fork setup up front. They've done away with the single telescopic fork, and you have a more traditional conventional telescopic fork setup at the front. And even the rear swing arm, it gets a box style swing arm, not the fancy single-sided swing arm anymore. I'm assuming these have been done in an attempt to make the scooters more robust and less prone to damage. Apart from that, you also have a motor that is rated for a little more power. 8.5 kilowatts was the previous power output from the S1 Pro. In this Gen 2 it makes 11 kilowatts. The certified range has gone up by around 14 kilometers from 181 to 195 kilometers, and the top speed has also gone up from 116 kmph to 120 kmph. The 0 to 40 kilometer time, thanks to the slightly higher output from the motor, has now come down from 2.9 to 2.6 seconds. Now this is priced at rupees 1.47 lakh ex showroom. On the business front, Hyundai signs an assets purchase agreement to acquire GM India's Talegaon plant. What this means is that they get access to everything that GM left at the Talegaon plant, which means the land, the buildings, the machinery and the manufacturing equipment at the Talegaon plant. Hyundai will acquire that, and their manufacturing operations are set to begin by 2025, expanding the company's capability to make more cars. And Hyundai's target by acquiring this GM plant in Talegaon is to achieve the production capacity of 1 million units annually, and this 1 million units will come combined from their Chennai plant and the Talegaon plant. Exciting news, isn't it? Next up is the unveil of the Aston Martin DB12 Volante. Now this car is powered by a 4-litre twin-turbo V8, and it puts out 671 bhp and 800 Newton meters of torque. Now this power is sent to the wheels via an 8-speed automatic transmission, and the performance figures are quite interesting. 0 to 100 kmph comes up in 3.7 seconds with a top speed of 325 kilometers per hour. Now this car, it also gets an electronic limited slip differential. It gets adaptive damping systems, 5 selectable modes which include wet, you have GT, sports, Sports Plus and individual, where you can of course set everything you want to your liking. Now in today's day and age, it's really important to have driver assistance systems, so to that end you have ADAS in the car. Now coming to the wheels, you get 21-inch wheels with carbon ceramic disc brakes, and the international delivery should begin later this year, and it also should make its way to our shores sometime next year. What do you think of this car? How do you like the way it looks? Do you like the performance it has on tap? Do let us know. And the last bit of news for this week is the launch of the Audi Q8 e-tron. Now the Q8 e-tron will be available in both the regular SUV shape or even in the Sportback form factor, and you can choose both in either the 50 or the 55 configuration. Now what Audi has done in updating this Q8 e-tron is it's taken the 55's battery capacity from the last e-tron and made that as the standard 50's capacity for this Q8 e-tron. What this means is the 95 kilowatt hour battery is the standard capacity on the 50, and the 55 now gets a larger 114 kilowatt hour battery which supports a charging rate of up to 170 kilowatts. Powering the Q8 e-tron in the 50 spec is a motor that is capable of putting out 335 bhp and 664 newton meters of torque, and the range from this is 505 kilometers in the Sportback configuration and 491 kilometers in the regular SUV configuration. Now coming to the 55, which gets a larger battery, the motor on the 55 is capable of producing 402 bhp and the same 664 newton meters of torque. In terms of range, the claimed range on the 55 variant is 600 kilometers on the Sportback variant and 582 kilometers on the regular variant. Apart from that, it gets a bunch of design updates. It also features Audi's new 2D logo, which is part of their new design language, and a bunch of cosmetic tweaks here and there. The interior feels just as lavish as ever, and it gets a bunch of small updates here and there as well. Now both the variants will get air suspension as standard. Now the prices are as follows. For the standard SUV in the 50 configuration, you're paying rupees 1.13 crores ex showroom, and in the 55 configuration you're paying rupees 1.26 crores ex showroom, and for the Sportback you're paying rupees 1.18 crores for the 50 configuration with a smaller battery, and for the 55 with the bigger battery you're paying rupees 1.3 crores. What this means is you're paying around 4 lakhs extra to get the Sportback, and the difference between the 50 and the 55 is around 12 lakhs. So what do you think of this pricing, and what do you think of the Audi Q8? Do let us know. And we also have our first drive video playing on the YouTube channel, so do check that out as well. That's been it for the news this week. What was your favorite piece of news? Do let us know in the comment section down below.